Have you ever wondered what would happen if a keyboard manufacturer that's actually on the trusted list of the keyboard Reddit would make a leverless controller? Well, you don't have to wonder anymore. I got it right here. Let's talk about it. All right, guys, so here I had the Doio, not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, Hitpad Pro. This is coming from the company Keebmonkey. These guys have been making PC peripherals, keyboards, mice, you name it, for quite a while now, a couple of years, I think since 2019 or something like that. But we're going to be talking about their Hitpad series, and more specifically the Hitpad Pro. The Hitpad Pro retails for $139, and right now it's available in white. As you can see, the rest are sold out. These things are selling like crazy. Even their other ones, there's a V2. They got a couple of different types of Hitpad Pros. I know I have some viewers that play fighting games on a keyboard. They actually got a Hitpad in that keyboard WASD layout. So if you're interested in that, it's actually really cheap for $55. So they got a couple of different options here. But like I said, we're going to be talking about the Hitpad Pro. They have a Hitpad Standard, that's $109. They have a V2 of the Hitpad Standard, it's $119. There is a V2 version of the one we're reviewing, the Hitpad Pro. There's a Hitpad Pro V2, but right now that's sold out. So like I said, we're talking about the Hitpad Pro normal. And it looks like the one I have is the only one that's currently in stock right now. So if you want me to keep this short, you don't want to watch the whole video, yeah, this device is really awesome. I mean, it got me to Fujin in Tekken 8, so you know, take that as you want. But yeah, they're selling out like crazy. All of them are pretty much sold out except the white, and the V2s are all sold out. And on top of that, right now, as you can see here, they have a chat box that you can check to people here, asking them questions about the company or the products that they sell. There's a coupon right now on their Discord. Their Discord will be in the description down below. You can go to the Discord, talk to people that make the products or just other people that have the similar products in case you have more questions, or if you're having an issue with your device, go to the Discord. Right now they have a coupon, so you can make this device even cheaper than it is by getting the coupon and joining their Discord. Okay, so with that being said, we've reviewed quite a bit of leverless controllers on the channel, so I just want to quickly get some of the similarities between this and those out of the way. So we're going to speed run through those things right now. The first thing is that this device does run on the GP2040 CE firmware. This is the same firmware that you will find on the $50 leverless that we covered, RTU, or even Hot 42. They use the same firmware to power their controllers. We've covered that firmware plenty of times on the channel, and it just keeps evolving over time. It's really good. It provides really low latency, down to 1 millisecond, especially paired with a Pico board. It just keeps getting better and better, and you're even able to customize the software itself so that you can use this device on PS4 without having to use a dongle or adapter. But we'll talk about compatibility in a little bit. The next thing we're going to talk about are the switches, or the buttons themselves. This device does use mechanical keyboard switches, Gatoron low profile switches to be exact, and if you wanted to change them out, you can just go to Gatoron or Gatoron. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that right. I am really bad at pronouncing these things, but you know, you can swap them out if you want something with a different actuation or something with different amount of force. On top of that, you can also use Kale switches if you prefer Kale switches. Those are the ones that Snackbox uses, and the $50 leverless that we covered also uses Kale switches. So if you prefer those, you can swap them out for one of those. Now, when it comes to the keycaps or buttons themselves, they're normal PC keycaps, but on top they have this spiral type of texture or design. I'm not sure if you can really tell from the camera angle there, but it actually feels really good and satisfying to the touch on your fingertips. I actually do enjoy them a lot. And the last thing we're speed running is that this does have that little screen that you guys know that I love. That little screen tells you what SOCD, what input mode, what button you're pressing. It pretty much tells you everything you need to know in case your device is acting up for some reason, or it's not being compatible with the device you're trying to use. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the things that make this device stick out. The first thing we're going to talk about is the build quality. This thing, guys, is built like a tank, and I know I said that about the mayflash, but guys, if this and the mayflash were in battle bots, this thing would probably destroy the mayflash. I'm not even joking with you guys. Hell, even compared with something like the Razer Kitsune, which also uses an aluminum alloy, this device feels a lot tougher. Man, just throw that in there with the battle bots as well, and this thing can probably 1v2 the Kitsune and the mayflash. Now, the back of the device is made out of acrylic, but I'm going to assume that they didn't go with a full aluminum device because they wanted to show off the RGB that they put in this, and trust me, they put a lot. Now, I don't think it's going to be that strong, but quick little flash warning, because every time you do press a button, it does flash on the back. Now, it's going to be on your lap, so it's not going to be that distracting or anything like that. And you can see the RGB through the front under the buttons as well. Next, let's talk about the layout. And I know you've been staring at it the whole time, probably thinking that's a weird looking layout. And trust me, when I first opened up this device in the unboxing and I saw the layout, I was like, ooh, I'm probably not going to like that. But surprisingly, it's the complete opposite of that. Even with the mayflash controller that we just upgraded, changed the buttons and added custom art, I told you guys how much I hated these 2 extra buttons because I would accidentally press them or they were just in the way. With the Hitpad Pro, that hasn't happened. There's all this extra space for your wrist to lay on, and there's this separation between the directional buttons and the fight buttons, as well as the jump buttons and the extra buttons. There's just a space there that allows me to position my hands to a point where these extra buttons don't get in my way. And instead of 2 extra buttons, this device actually has 5 extra buttons that you guys can see right here. And the top button has actually been really useful for me. I've actually mapped my 2 punch buttons to that button. That way I can do Lydia's unblockable a lot easier and not accidentally get my 1 or my 2. So yeah, if you're somebody that likes an extra button so you can route some shortcuts, make some button presses a lot easier, you're going to love this device. Like I said, I know at first glance the layout might look weird, but it is extremely comfortable, guys, trust me. But, and there's always a but, since we're already talking about the layout, let's talk about these top buttons up here. And this is one of the only few negatives that I have with this device. I do not like the position of these buttons. Now that might be personal preference. Them being on that side, it's just a little bit harder for me to reset the stage whenever I'm in training mode. And it's not just the position, right? Because that's something that I can get used to, and you know what, I'll be able to quickly do it. Something about these buttons, now they probably went this route because there's obviously not a switch for you to disable these buttons, so you don't want to accidentally press start during a tournament or something like that. So these buttons are a little bit harder to press, and I'm used to resetting the stage. Even with the mayflash or other ones that we disabled, you know, you quickly press 3 and select, right, and it resets the stage whenever you're in training mode. With this device, for some reason, when I'm quickly pressing it, it doesn't recognize it, just because these top buttons, maybe it's something with my unit, but they do require a little bit more actuation force and to kind of hold it down for a little bit for it to be recognized. So whenever I'm in training mode, I have to hold select a little bit and then press 3, you know, so it slows down my reset time. I can't just quickly do it, and for some reason I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like I said, maybe it's something with my unit, or that's just the way they did it, so you don't actually press start during a tournament since there's no lock switch or anything like that. Just a small little thing. So let's get back to the things I like about this device. Next up, let's talk about IO. The Hitpad Pro has 3 USB ports, 2 of them being USB type C and 1 being USB type A. The 2 USB type C ports are pretty much there so you don't stress one of the ports out in case your device is off to the left. You're probably going to want to use the left side port, and if your console is in front of you, you're probably going to want to use the front one. That's pretty much what they're there for. What plugging in a dongle like this allows you to do is use it on a PS5 or PS4 or even Xbox, because there's Xbox versions of these dongles, without having to plug an actual adapter to the console itself like the Brook Wingman or similar. This leads us to the next thing, compatibility. So natively, this device will work on PC, Switch, and older devices like 360 and PS3. If you're on PS4 or PS5, you're going to have to use this dongle, or if you're on PS4, there is a way to flash the GP2040 CE firmware with a DualShock 4 file and use it natively on a PS4 without needing a dongle. However, both GP2040 and keebmonkeys can't provide you these files, so you kind of got to do your research. That only helps out PS4 users though, so if you're a PS5 user, you're going to have to get this dongle. Like I said, it's $25, and remember, they're running a promotion right now. There's a promo code in their Discord, so it'll balance out the price for you to get this dongle. Now, to make it work with the dongle, there is a little bit of a process, so I'll try to make it as brief as I can. You're going to need a laptop, PC, or any type of computer, and you're going to hold the start button when plugging this device in. If you did it correctly, you should get a whole bunch of text on the little screen that says web configuration mode. Once you have that on the little screen, you're going to want to go to this IP address that's on here. It's how you get to the web configurator. I'll put it down in the description so you guys don't have to go looking for it. Okay, so now that we're in the web configurator here, what you're gonna want to do first is go to settings. Ignore the update. The update can mess up the RGB and other custom things that keebmonkeys have done to the device. If you want to know if you should upgrade, that might be something you want to go and ask the Discord. But the first thing you want to do is go to settings, make sure input mode is on PS4, and right here where it says controller, you want to select arcade stick. After that, you're going to want to click save. Then we're going to go to configuration. We're going to go to peripheral mapping, which is the second option. And in here at the bottom, you should see USB host, right? We want to enable that. And the one that says D plus, you want to set that to 26, the number 26. Again, all this stuff is here if you want to follow a written instruction instead. So let's go back. Once you do that, you want to click save again. Then we're going to go to configuration again. We're going to go to add-ons configuration. It should be the third option from the bottom, add-ons configuration. And we're going to scroll all the way down here and you should see PS4 mode. You don't want that enabled. You're just going to want to enable PS pass-through. Once you've done that, at the top right here where it says arcade or GP2040, not sure what it'll say for you, you just want to click that drop down, select PS4, and then hit save, and then hit reboot, and then just reboot the controller. Now, if you've done that correctly, I know it's a little bit hard to tell, but it should say PS5 at the top there. If you did everything that I just told you to do correctly, it will say PS5. I know, it seems like a lot, and that's why I'm putting this kind of in the negative, because most people don't even know how to write an email. We may be tech savvy, people watching this might be tech savvy, or the people at KeebMonkeys might be tech savvy, but please, KeebMonkeys and every other leverless manufacturer that's looking at this video and is going to use the GP2040 software, please just enable that off the rip for the people. Just do that. You guys already go into the software and mess around to make the lighting work and all that. Just do that for customers. Most people that are looking to get these leverless controllers are on PS5 or PS4 for that matter. Now, I know that sharing those PS4 files is a big no-no from Sony, but if enabling pass-through isn't, then please just do it for the people so they don't have to do all that. So you did all that whole process. It says PS5 at the top. We're gonna plug this in to the PS5. We're gonna press home, and as you can see, it is working. Okay, and yeah, as you can see, I'm moving back, forward, throw out a punch, everything works. So yeah, it is work. It is a little bit of a hassle to make it work, but there it is. If you guys would like me to make a separate video on explaining the whole process that we just did a little bit slower, just let me know in the comment section down below, and I don't mind making that video. And the last thing I want to talk about is customization. When it comes to customization on these devices, there really isn't much. The only thing you're really going to be customizing is changing out your caps and obviously the switches inside. This isn't really a device that you're going to want to open up. Like I said, they pride themselves with really well built things, so once you get this device, you're pretty much leaving it as it is. There are 2 screws here, but to get to the actual internals of the device, you're going to have to ruin the rubber pads. There are some screws under them, and if you remove them, the stickiness is going to go away from the rubber pad, so you can't really put them back on. There are, however, a couple of different colors. You got your pink, your white, your silver, your black. I do have the white one, so there is a little variety there. But if you want to, do something like put your own custom art on this, unless you're using stickers or you print out this big vinyl that you end up cutting out every little thing for, then yeah, there's not really much. Besides, to the front, they added this texture that feels really nice, so they probably just want you to leave it as it is. But like I said, you want to print a big vinyl out and then cut everything out individually, you could potentially do that. But yeah, there's not much customization to make this device your own unless you're just planting stickers all over the place. Overall, I do highly recommend this device, especially for the build quality and for my PC users, since it is plug and play. I know for my PlayStation users, it's a little bit of a hassle, especially what you guys just saw, but that goes for any device that uses the GP2040 software. That's just what you got to do. You got to go through that whole process to enable the pass-through. If you don't want to go through all that, you can still buy the Brook wingman converter, but that's just going to add so much more. It's triple the price of this dongle, and you just got to mess with the software a little bit. With all that being said, tell me what you guys think of the Hitpad Pro in the comment section down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you hadn't, hit that notification bell so you know when I upload another review, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.